Welcome to Above the Garage.
Hi, friends. Welcome to our discussion of Pluribus, Season 1, Episode 3. Let's do our round of introductions and dive in.
Hi, I'm Aubrey.
Hi, I'm Helen.
Hi, I'm Raquel.
And I'm Kate. Before we dive in, are you guys enjoying the show so far?
Yeah, I was like, at the beginning of the second episode, I was like, what the fuck is going on? Where is this going?
Yeah.
But now that I feel like I have some footing in this episode feels like I want more. Like it wasn't very packed with information and it wasn't packed with clearing things up, but it was adding to the story right now.
There's a lot of character-based stuff.
Yeah.
Quiet character study than the previous episodes.
Yeah.
I'm really liking it, but this is the kind of shows that I would like. I don't like to know a lot at the beginning. Like I like know things little by little. But yeah, this episode was maybe a bit boring,
Compared to the other two, yeah.
Yeah, exactly, in comparison.
Dave started watching it last night, and he had no idea. He kept asking me, what's it about? And I was just like, I legitimately cannot tell you. Like, I can't find the words to tell you. I'm not refusing to tell you. Can you just watch it, and then you'll see?
It's difficult to explain as well. Like,
yeah.
Weird concept.
Yeah, and he's like, it's a bit silly, isn't it? I was like, yeah, but it's not unintentionally silly. They're doing this on purpose.
Yeah.
I feel like he needs to watch the second episode to get a better grasp of it. But everybody loves it. It's got 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, which seems
that's amazing.
Actually impossible. I don't even understand that. But I'm enjoying it too. It's, different, but well written. And I'm enjoying it a lot.
After the first episode, I was a little bit scared that it's going to be a way of a zombie story with the virus. And then when the second episode started happening, I don't think I've ever seen anything with this kind of idea of this hive mind and people losing their identity and being like worker bees. I don't think I've ever seen a movie or a show that
it's unique.
That kind of concept. So
Yeah.
I listened to your podcast. I think that was the first episode. And you guys said like it's more unsettling because they're nice. It's just really weird. It's just like, what is happening?
I'm unsettled by nice people in real life.
Yeah.
So this is way too many.
But it's true, though, that they do play with those, like, is it zombies? Is it, a bunch of tropes? And then I feel like they're doing a good job of weaving tropes together, and the result is a brand new concept. So I like that too.
Yeah. And I think in this episode, there was like a moment or two where I think when she was talking by the end of the episode with the DHL guy, felt like there is maybe some menace somewhere hidden deeply behind all the nice things that's happening. There's maybe something sinister there.
I do think that for the first time, I feel like they did a couple not fully altruistic things for the first time in this episode, but we'll get to them. We'll
unpack it.
Okay, let's dive in. Episode 3 opens 7 years earlier in a Norwegian ice hotel with Carol and Helen. My ancestors are actually from Norway, but I've never felt more like Carol than in this scene. I'm not a big fan of being cold, so this hotel is very much not my thing. Even though it looks amazing, and it's obviously an incredible structural feat, but I am perfectly content experiencing it on the screen from the warmth of my home. Would you guys go?
Never.
Absolutely.
Yeah? That's a yes and a no. What about MASH?
I liked the idea until I heard it's like -3 degrees inside the room.
Right. That's the warm room.
But you have an all-night hot tub.
Yeah, but like, I would not be able to sleep.
For the experience, I would do one day.
I don't think I could do one day.
I couldn't do it.
I can't do cold.
I hate cold. There would be a situation where like there would be a price that I would be willing to do it for. Like, I'm not going to pay you to do this. Absolutely not. But maybe
fair.
For like
that's fair.
$100,000. Maybe.
I don't think I could manage. Like, I shake. Like, I can't. The only thing if it's that cold, all I can think is like, when am I going to go to a place where it's going to be warm?
I know.
Mine has been a whole night then.
Right.
No
way.
No.
For a night, though, you could just go in and out of the hot tub, get really warm.
And the bourbon or...
Yes.
No, okay, for $100,000, I could sit in a hot tub for a day. Yes, you're right.
Okay, I'll be with you there.
Okay, sorry.
Well, you could do that at my house for free, so. But weren't you, Kate, saying that you would go to Antarctica when we were discussing this on the long way home? But that was just to check it off.
I'm going to have a warm room. I'm not going to be like sleeping outside. I'm happy to go anywhere that I have a warm room.
And it was very cold. Yeah, then you get warm somewhere.
All right, that's fair.
And the hotels are warm. The room is warm.
I did, though. Carol's hood looked very warm and cozy. I would buy that. It looked nice. One fact that was revealed in the scene that surprised me is that Carol froze her eggs. So children were potentially in the future for Helen and Carol. Yeah. She also implied she spent $100,000 to do it, which seemed like a lot to me. So I Googled it, and it seems the process typically costs $8,000 to $20,000 per cycle. So she must have done it many times.
That's got to come up again.
Yeah. It's all very sad. Makes it all sadder. But I was surprised, especially because of the two of them, I would think that Helen would be the one freezing her eggs.
Right.
Yeah.
When Helen tells Carol Walt Disney being frozen was a myth, I laughed because literally just yesterday, my daughter told me that Walt Disney's head is buried underneath Pirates of the Caribbean, which I assume is a subset of the same myth, and I had never heard it before. It was very funny timing to hear it yesterday and referenced in the show today.
Interesting.
Had you guys heard it?
Know about that one.
Yeah.
I think I've heard about him being frozen. So the myth.
Yeah.
Not Pirates of the Caribbean.
His head being under Pirates of the Caribbean would be kind of cool. I like it.
Why just the head?
I know. I don't know.
Yeah, that's my question.
I don't
When did he lose his head?
And what rides are the rest of his body under?
Let's not go there.
Carol's not quite in vacation mode, though. She's obsessed with finding out the numbers for her new book. It doesn't seem like it's her first book, judging from how Helen's not over the moon. You guys think that? It doesn't really matter which book it was.
Yeah, I just made a note that said, which of her previous books in the 4-part trilogy is this?
The 4-part trilogy. That's the announcement they made at the Barnes & Noble. Very funny.
Well, if it's been 7 years...
Maybe
it could be the first one.
Could be the first one. That was actually what I was thinking that was.
But then will she be so obsessed to be a bestseller? Because if I was a first time, well, she might be doing other books before.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
That's true.
That it's the beginning of the new, or something new for her, maybe.
Right. Yeah, I just thought Helen would be like way more excited if she just made it on the bestseller list for the first time.
Yeah, true.
Maybe it's just the whole thing of Helen knowing the way that she's going to react to this is just, but about all of it. Like,
right.
it's just, she knows her personality and knows that she's going to think of it that way instead of thinking, oh, it's cool that I'm on the bestsellers list.
She's in the top 20. Come on.
Helen gave a really good, like, sad look initially that made it look like she wasn't on the bestseller list.
Yeah.
It was very convincing.
I like Helen a lot. It's really sad to know that she's dead.
Yeah.
All her scenes are really good.
Yeah, Miriam Shore is the actor's name that plays Helen. She's great. I really like her a lot. I'm glad we're getting to see more of her in the flashbacks, too.
Yeah. When it comes to Northern Lights, though, Carol and I differ. I want to see them very badly, and she could not have been less impressed. And they were even in our area this week in Pennsylvania, but not quite close enough to home for me to see it.
Yeah, a couple of our group had seen them this week, and yeah, I saw them on a flight.
I know. Last year.
Over Detroit last year, yeah. Crazy.
Same time-ish. October last year. We were in Toronto on the Handmaid's Tale set. I did not see them that time either, despite being further north than my family, but they were at our house that time, so I missed them. But yeah, seeing them from the plane, Aubrey's photos are incredible.
Very jealous.
It's crazy to see them like essentially directly to, it's not like up.
Right.
It was directly to my left out the plane. Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Really cool.
Very jealous. And it's crazy that Carol is not impressed.
I really like that last shot of the opening right before it goes to the credits where they're sitting in the ice hotel. You're seeing Helen before that looking up at the light, at the aurora, and Carol just staring blankly, forward into the room, doesn't give enough of a shit to even look up at it. And then the last shot, she kind of finally looks up and you see it just take over her face of like, okay, I'm actually accepting how beautiful this is for a minute. I really thought she did great with that moment.
Yeah.
Because the whole time, like, I'm thinking, okay, Carol is so detached from the world, and nature, and other people. Like, she's just very focused on like her own misery in a way. Like, just
well, Helen said that. She's like, you love feeling bad, so you love this.
Cynicism, I guess, is maybe a word kind of for
she
it.
does take it to an extreme, and I think using the Northern Lights to show that was very good.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of telling for that being in her, that she has the capacity to be like, actually, I can enjoy this. I just have to work on it and focus on it.
Yeah.
I actually really liked her makeup in that shot. Something about her lips, very nice. The head of the makeup department on this show is Sherry Montesanto. I think she's doing a great job.
It's very natural looking. The lighting was great too.
I was going to say about the lighting, and is when the northern lines turn purple and you can see them in the face. That was really good. Do we ever see the northern light?
They do, but they're not purple at the time. They're like
greenish,
green and bluish.
Greenish.
Wine green.
Wine green.
That's just a reference from her book.
Okay, that literally passed me by.
Back in real time, 3 days into this happy apocalypse, and Carol is back on her giant airplane. But so is Zoja, so she stopped the plane to save Zoja from Kumba's harem. Yay.
Yep.
I was surprised that was the whole of that scene, though. It was just that she got Zojia off the plane. I thought we would see more of her interaction with Kumba in the next episode. You know what I mean?
Or with everybody else.
Yeah.
I kind of like cuts like that, though, because you can immediately know everything that happened. Like, you can see it play out without actually having to waste time on it.
Carol's got some actual pilots flying the plane today because the Hive noticed she was freaked out by the TGI Fridays waitress flying yesterday's plane. Too funny.
Honestly, I feel like I would be the opposite. I would just be like, what random person can I get to do this job just because it would amuse me for them to do it?
Yeah.
Pizza delivery guy can like do some stitches for me or something. Like, I don't know.
Also, it's very funny that Carol's sitting in economy instead of the lie flat seats in first class. In fact, she's chosen a row that doesn't even recline for this 12-hour flight.
Hey, it's another, she enjoys the misery or wants to like wallow in discomfort.
Deliberately choosing that. Yeah.
Right.
It's like, fuck you, I don't care.
I always fly
I like my misery.
Economy.
Zojia at least chose the front row in economy, presumably for the extra legroom. So Carol has to use the call button to get her attention, and she waits till Zojia's fully gotten herself settled again to do so. Very funny. And thank God she asked about the non-English speakers. That would have driven me crazy if she never did. That was a huge thing in my head. I can't believe she doesn't immediately request a meeting with them, though, especially the guy who won't talk to them. She does call him on the phone, and they hilariously curse at each other in Spanish.
When Carol is speaking Spanish to the guy on the plane, and at first it's very simple Spanish. She's trying to string it together. She doesn't want help. But then the thing that she knows for sure is how to cuss somebody out in Spanish.
So confidently. I know. I loved it.
So good.
But wouldn't you have immediately directed the plane to fly to Paraguay? Because he's like her. Like
But I think they won't do it unless the person agrees. Because that's how it was in the previous one. They made all of the other people say yes before they would take Carol to see them, because they're concerned with the trying to make each person happy, even though you know there's going to be conflict to that. But they're like, if we just take Carol and we show up at their house with Carol and they didn't want that, then that's going to upset the person.
Yeah. Well, hopefully she meets him in a future episode, because this is definitely the guy.
I just kept hoping
most
all
likely.
episode thinking he's gonna show up because of the last interaction.
Yeah.
We're gonna.
I did too, because I was like, well, obviously when she called him back and was basically just like, fuck your mother.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, so now he's going to know for sure that this is not the hive mind.
Yeah.
So actually the first card that showed up at her house later, I thought was going to be them bringing him.
Yeah. I was very disappointed.
Yeah. I mean, he has to be intrigued after that call. So
yeah,
he's going to be maybe like a cliffhanger or like a Chekhov's gun. He's going to come back at some point later on.
Yeah, it has to. Yeah.
Definitely. Also, a very random comment from this scene, but I really like Carol saying gal. She calls women gal a lot. She did that in this episode and the previous one. It's just like a way of speaking that I like. I kind of want to start saying that. It's very like old-fashioned sounding.
Back home, Zojia brings her mail, and of course the mail addressed to Helen makes her sad. And more than that, the massager that Helen ordered her as a gift has just arrived. And it absolutely enrages Carol to hear Zojia telling her things about Helen that Carol doesn't even know. And I get that. I would be infuriated too if suddenly I was the only person on earth that didn't know these things about my girlfriend, you know?
Yeah.
Feels
wrong.
So Carol, as she gazes at Helen's freshly dug grave in the yard, demands the Hive forget everything they know about Helen and never think about her again, so that Helen's memory belongs only to her, which I get.
I would be really torn on that, actually. I mean, I think I would go around on that, back and forth.
I was going to say, do you think presumably that's something that she can take back? Can they then take the memories back?
Yeah, I mean, they didn't do it because you find out later that, you know, she references this hotel scene. So
they probably can't de-upload the memories. It's probably just like, we're just going to not mention them to you and they're there still.
I really, really do relate to Carol in this show. Because I just...
Facts.
Yeah.
Like, every time I, like, try to put myself in that situation, it's like, it's just
terrible.
What even is the point? Like, I'll use that hand grenade and be like...
Yeah.
I actually thought that's what she was doing at first.
Yeah. Next day, Carol's laying on the couch with the Golden Girls on. She's got DVDs and Xanax scattered across the table, watching an episode where Betty White is Rose talking about a woman who never smiles. Carol's got a good frown in place as a visual aid, too. But I, too, apparently have a bit of a resting bitch face, so I get it. Old men and malls are always telling me to smile, as if I should be walking around with a giant smile plastered on my face all the time.
That's very rude.
Yeah, that's
absolutely.
It's like Did you see at the Stranger Things premiere, Millie Bobby Brown stormed off because a photographer was yelling at her to smile? And she was like, "Fuck you, you smile," and stormed off.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah, but I get it.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially when it's men.
Right.
Well, anybody, really. Some women do it too. Like, why are you so upset? Like, I'm not. Just
literally just existing.
Leave me alone.
Don't smile all the time. That's
It's like not a fucking ornament that you can look at and feel good.
Yeah.
But I did love the shot when Carol was laying on a couch and you could see the reflection of the TV show in the DVD. Yeah, that was a great shot. I loved it.
That was really
amazing.
Cool. So many good
shots. That was composed so well. I don't even understand how they would have filmed that. There had to be some digital.
Yeah, because both of like the deep and the front both are very sharp. So that must have been
enhanced.
Yeah.
And just passing by something reflective with a camera, like that always trips me up because I'm like, well, you're having to delete the camera being in the shot, right? There's no way you could do that.
There's probably something with the angles that the camera is at an angle, but still, it was a beautiful shot.
You can use mirrors, but that will cast another reflection somewhere else. So
there are actually so many things from this show that I would love to see the behind the scenes on, like just watch them filming the scene, see how they did it. Interesting. This one was directed by Gordon Smith, who also co-wrote the episode. So now I'm wondering if the first two were directed by Vince Gilligan and also written by Vince Gilligan and two other writers, but the third one was directed by Gordon Smith, but also written by Gordon Smith with the same two co-writers.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
The writer is also directing their own episodes. That's pretty cool.
Very cool. We haven't seen that before.
Yeah, I like that. I think the next shot also, just going off of what the shot that Helen mentioned with the reflection, is the tray or the, what do you call that thing? The dome, the silver dome.
Yeah, the breakfast cover.
Yeah, it like goes right into another shot of a reflection. I just thought, oh, they're doing a little theme with the reflected images. Like,
I also noticed in that reflection, there's this art carved into the door of 4 circles with 1 circle in the middle, kind of. I feel like it's custom made for this show.
That reminds me of the quaternary concept from the first episode where they're trying to figure out the signal. And Tina, who was on the first 2 episodes with us, had mentioned the lab coat colors being the 4 different colors, which was cool, a little cool 4 reference. But then my husband John's friend, Michelle, said something really interesting, a few things about the 4 elements. So she was saying pandemics are a quaternary, because there are like 4 stages to a pandemic. There's emergence, dispersal, establishment, and then decline and cure. I hadn't heard of that before, but that's cool. And she was saying they're currently in stage 3, and Carol is potentially the key to stage 4. And then Carol's book, Bitter Chrysalis. Chrysalis is stage 3 of the quaternary life cycle of a butterfly.
Oh, yeah.
And that's like the transformation stage. She said, as a writer of the book, this also puts Carol in control of the 4th stage. And then she also mentioned the thing I said earlier where they refer to Carol's book as being the 4th in a trilogy. Another little 4 thing.
Interesting. I feel like we'll find out more about the book. I would like to.
She needs to do a reading of her book to the hive mind.
Yes.
Like set up a reading.
It is funny how many things she could do and force them to do to entertain herself, but she's not there yet.
I kind of hope there's an episode that just gets very silly where she's just like, I don't even care anymore. I'm just going to like move you around like Barbie dolls. Yeah.
So Carol goes to her phone and dials the front desk to complain about the delicious meal that has been made for her before dumping it all in the trash. The hive has insulted her fridge contents, so she goes to examine it. Milk and olives of many colors do seem to be the staples she lives off. I don't think I even knew there were red olives. I'm not a fan of olives. Do you guys like olives?
Yes.
I love olives.
I love olives.
And there's about 3 different types in my fridge too.
Do you have the red ones?
Especially the red olives.
Yeah. Do you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Are red olives pimentos? Is that the same thing?
I think they're called calamatas. Calamatas are the red ones, which are the best kind. And my second favorite are the Spanish, the really green ones. They have like a long name.
Manzanilla?
Yes, those.
I'm definitely in the minority here.
No, we're split down the middle. I'm not an olive. I'll eat them because I'll kind of eat anything that's not animals. So like if they're on something, I'll be like, sure. But like I wouldn't like choose to have them. I need to get more adventurous though, because I also didn't know that there were red olives. So
it's really funny though, because we also have oat milk. In our fridge. So when she opened it, like, that could definitely be my favorite.
Yeah.
I don't know how long she was on holiday, though. That curdles quite quickly.
Yeah. Same. I had the same thought.
So, like, I wasn't very realistic.
So she's off to Sprouts. Only Sprouts is no more. Every single piece of food has left the building. Luckily, the phone still works, so she dials the front desk to complain again. I laughed at the Grinch reference. Zoja and the Hive explain the grocery store was cleared for efficiency. They've adopted a new distribution system, but she's happy to bring it all back for Carol. Carol is prepared to give her a couple days to do so, but that is not how the Hive works. As soon as she walks outside, the trucks are arriving, and they're choreographed very nicely. It's like a dance how they pull in.
It was a really cool shot, yeah.
The whole sequence, I liked it a lot.
It was beautiful, yeah.
When they were driving, it was like, why are they parking like that? They were like all over the place.
They did arrive faster than I think is
possible,
even remotely, even for the hive mind. But it was just, they probably cut to a few minutes because they said in a few minutes we'll be there. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I don't even care because it's funny.
That was the decision that they made. It's just funny. Yeah. Also, if you need to really find a reason, you could say they just left, just cleared it, and they're on the road.
True.
The fact that they're just waiting.
I know.
It's so creepy.
With everything.
Yeah. And so many people were there to like put everything back. Like you see all these people coming from around and you don't see anybody like otherwise when she's driving around or it seems like it's just her inhabiting the world. Until she needs something, and then everyone comes running.
That like bird's eye, I guess it was, of the parking lot, and they all just swarm from the side.
Very hive-like. Swarm is a good word for that.
Really funny and also terrifying, because you're like, were you just standing in the bushes waiting for her to make a call?
It took them only an hour and change before the store is fully stocked again. So much food just for Carol.
Yeah, I was supposing they're going to bring enough for her to choose from, but not to fill the shop as if it was regular day.
I guess they wanted it to be mentally the way that she had it then. Because even the music, like they turn on that like pop music over the loudspeakers, playing like the cheesy music. And
she requested her Sprouts back, and that's what they did.
True.
But you're right, the waste is crazy. Yeah. Like, I wonder, surely they'll come back and move it out again and then back in, when she needs it or something, just to keep it fresh.
I mean, these people could shop out of the store, right? These people need to be fed, so.
True.
Do they need to be fed, though?
They got human bodies. They must.
I've seen them eating, but do they need to? Because they were the families were, like, eating with them, but do they have to eat? Or were they just, it's a charade, so they're pretending to be humans still?
I think a linked mind doesn't change the composition of their bodies, right? So they would still, because they still need hospitals and doctors. So like if somebody gets hurt, they got to go.
But they don't. It's like so empty in that hospital. You'd think it would be full of people that Carol hurt in her last outrage.
True.
But there's nobody there. Like people should still be getting viruses.
Do you see people though? There was somebody with like a wheelchair
outside. There was. So after I made the note, you saw like 2, 3
but not many
outside.
people.
Yeah.
But I guess it's also showing that they're so efficient and perfect at everything that they're doing that like accidents really don't happen.
Yeah.
They just know exactly because they're communicating psychically. So
yeah, and that makes sense. Injuries would be cut down to near zero, I'm sure. But I would think that viruses, unless they're just smart enough working together to solve that too. Maybe. But yeah, I think they require food. But they don't need good food, probably. They probably don't care. Just have like space food. Not that space food is bad. I don't know.
When they're walking in the line carrying all the crates of food and Carol standing in the doorway just staring at them like WTF. The first guy that approaches her says, Carol, may we sneak past you here?
Hilarious.
I love that line. And then at the end when they're all like saying the same line, but chunks of the same line going down as they're passing her.
Yeah, that was brilliant. That was brilliant. Yeah.
I was going to say that really, like UK said earlier, like it was really amusing how like you were talking about the pilots being pilots, and it was more amusing if there was the TGI.
Fridays.
It was just really amusing how everybody was like dressing very differently, and they were like clearly just anybody really. Like there weren't even workers for the supermarket, they were just anybody. It's just I find it really, really amusing that they keep doing that. It's just really good.
Yeah, like the opening from the episode 2 when they first get Zoja and she just gets on the plane to pilot it in her outfit that she was dragging bodies off the street.
Really
like
day. Yes.
Yeah, they just get dragged from whatever they were doing to the next thing.
Back home, Betty White is back at it again until all the power goes off. Carol looks outside to see all the power in all of Albuquerque going out, but then her house alone comes back online and her phone starts ringing. The front desk has called her this time. And the hive rep, Zosha, explains they're not going to do things at night anymore because it's not efficient. I thought it was very funny when she said, "We thought you'd understand because you donated to the Sierra Club." Twice.
It's also really funny when she picks up the phone and it says, "It's us, Carol," on the phone. Like that's the caller ID.
Carol sarcastically asks for a grenade and heads back to her Xanax bottle. Decides to go ahead and combine the Xanax with vodka, too, because who cares at this point?
Yeah, there was this great shot where she's pouring the water down the sink when she changes her mind. And you're watching her pour it, and then it cuts really seamlessly. Like, even the sound carries over to her pouring the vodka into her cup. So for a second, it was, like, kind of jarring because I was thinking, wait, what am I looking at? And then it was so seamless. That was beautiful. Really good editing.
What I've noticed is that Helen's name sounded Scandinavian on the envelope.
That's true. The last name.
It's Understead, which is Understad in Scandinavian. And the vodka is also, the name of the vodka sounds Scandinavian. I cannot repeat it because I didn't write it down, but it was sounding and looking Scandinavian, the vodka, which is interesting, binding to the opening scene in Norway.
Yeah. Carol has an exciting new idea when Zosha comes to deliver the hand grenade that Carol definitely didn't actually expect. She's going to drink with the hive.
Thought you were probably being sarcastic, but we didn't want to take the chance. That killed me.
It was very funny. The way she said, like, you were being sarcastic. I
know, right?
I love that they even consider that, though. Like, between all of the minds, they've got somebody who's like a comedy expert that's like analyzing and thinking, like, I think she's joking.
They should be better at that, though, I think, than they are. They should be able to, because you're talking about like us, right? We can all read sarcasm. We're talking about millions of us in there in that hive.
Right, but then they've got some minds that are like, are you sure? Are you sure? You know, so then they've got...
Yeah, very literal, yeah. All right, literal people went out. The alcohol does not affect the hive at large, but she can still get Zosha drunk, which just seems to make Zosha chattier. I think that it would be interesting to get them high. I think that would be an interesting experiment what the hive thinks about in that state.
Yeah, except it wouldn't get them all high, unfortunately, as she said.
But she'd be thinking as the hive, and it would be interesting to just hear their thoughts in that altered state. I don't know.
But it would be cool to learn, like, what does affect them all overall that's not just the negative thing.
Yeah.
You know, is there something else that I can use here that will affect all of you and stun you, but not in a way where you're going to die, but where I can, you know, accomplish something?
Do you think it might have been the alcohol that let her sleep the Helen memory of the hotel?
Oh, let it slip? Yeah, so maybe, because that's my note on this scene when she does slip and let out something that she shouldn't know because of Helen. I don't know, it seemed mean of her, and we haven't seen her do mean things before, but it like hurt. You know, Carol told her, this hurts me, please don't do it again. Not in so many words, but it just seemed oddly not supportive of them wanting to make her happy all the time.
So kind of the way I read that, I was thinking, is Carol listing off vacations that she's been on with Helen? Because she starts going through this list of like places and experiences. It sounds like she's just listing off random beautiful things, but actually she's listing off all of the times that she had like this really wonderful experience with Helen.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So then Zosha is like, okay, I'm playing off of what you're saying, and I feel like you want to talk about it because you're saying these things to me. Do you know what I mean? Like, she maybe misread that Carol was wanting to...
But they're very literal, and she literally told her, don't talk about this. So I don't know. But I hadn't thought about the memories, and I think that that's almost certainly true. That's a very good observation.
Do you remember what was it exactly that Zosha said about the moment at the hotel?
She just said, like, in an ice hotel, I think, is basically what she said.
She didn't mention Helen, but she mentioned the memory.
Wondering if this is a memory of someone who was there, like the guy showing them the hotel. So she's accessing his memories, not Helen's memories.
She could have used that as an excuse for sure. She didn't, which makes me think that...
Was she talking about the gin?
Same scene earlier. She talks about the origin of the vodka. Yeah. When Carol asks her, when are you guys going to force me to be like you? They acknowledge the fact that she's going to force them to. She's not going to have a choice in the matter. And then she's like, what is it even like? Is it like all these happy moments she describes? And then, she finishes with the ice hotel. But it could be because of alcohol. I mean, she's going to make worse judgment calls with alcohol, right? Still affects her as a human. So I think that's a good argument, Raquel.
It is really intriguing to me, too, how, like, there's a back and forth at play with the hive mind having positives to it, because Carol is talking about, you know, oh, I'm going to be enslaved by your hive mind, and what's it going to be like? And then as soon as she says, what's it going to be like, she starts listing all these really nice memories. So it's like, on one hand, she doesn't want to join it, but on the other hand, when she's thinking about peace, she's thinking about Helen and those memories. I don't know. There's something, I feel like they're doing a very good job of showing two sides of this and making you question it a little bit. Even though there's a clear, you know, in quotes, correct answer to this, you still keep questioning it based on the way the characters are reacting to it. And
they've been good at presenting both sides of the argument throughout the show, I think. I'm never tempted. I can't even verbalize why it would be so horrible to lose your individuality, but it would be so horrible. It's like the worst thing possible.
I'm not tempted either, but I just like that they're showing
the other side of the coin.
These moments, and especially very subtly with this scene with Carol, I just felt like that was slowly creeping in of like, we're moving closer and closer towards something that actually, you know, they show at the beginning with Carol having that moment with the Northern Lights. It's like those peaceful moments that she thinks is going to be the whole experience of being in the hive mind. So it's kind of like,
I don't know, maybe what I'm thinking is what maybe Carol is thinking at the moment is that she did share the moment, and in a way the mind with Helen, spending those moments with her. So maybe her asking how it's going to be and then thinking about moments with Helen, maybe she's missing that closeness with something. So maybe she subconsciously thinking about being connected to someone on that level, like she used to be with Helen, and she doesn't have that. So maybe she's thinking, is the hive mind similar to having a partner or being in a relationship? Maybe.
Yeah, no, that's really a great point. I don't know that I think she's even really aware of the connection she's making. Do you know what I mean? Like,
why I was trying to say subconscious.
Yeah.
Really on purpose.
Exactly. That's a great point. Because she has, I mean, there's no one, like we said before, she's so isolated now.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say. I felt like not a lot happens in this episode, but that may be on purpose to like highlight how isolated she is and why she would maybe feel like, you know, what the hive mind is sort of offering, maybe appealing in a way. I'm with Kay, where I don't think I would ever consider it and I would never be tempted, but also that was an alternative. She like literally has no one. Even the people that are still human or are still their own individual don't want to talk to her, don't really feel the same way she does. So she's so alone. What is she going to do with her life? You know, X amount of time she has. So I understand why she wants to fight, but also I can see why, again, she might be considering like mixing the Xanax with, you know, Oscar and like the hand grenade and all of these things. But she's like, okay, well, I've got two alternatives. So I either go out on my own terms or join them, because the fight is just...
It's too big.
Crazy,
Yeah. No, I think suicide would be a very likely outcome, unfortunately. But
I do think there's a little hope at the end, which obviously we can talk about when we get there, but there seems to be a turning point in her thinking about this now at the end.
What I've noticed is that was the first instant that she was actually curious about the other side. Like she wasn't assuming things, because she's assuming things because she doesn't know. She assumes how it works. But it was the first time that she was asking questions and showing interest, in opposite to being angry all the time about everything.
Like in the scene when she's asking, do you all get drunk when you get drunk?
But I felt like that was a little bit more mocking. And then more towards the end of the conversation, she got a little bit more like actual in-depth.
Carol was quite angry at Zoja, so she picks up the grenade and blows her up. It's very funny when Zoja says, Carol, if we may, calmly before throwing the live grenade out the window and covering her with her body. Hilarious.
It was a great scene.
Less funny when Zoja's bleeding out outside, and Carol seems to be having some regrets. I don't know why she thought the grenade wouldn't be real, though. These people are robots, so of course they brought her a real grenade.
Kind of like what Raquel was saying earlier about her mixing the Xanax and the vodka and being in kind of a fuck it headspace. It's like, I'm not really trying necessarily to kill myself, but I'm also not protected. I'm doing risky things, and it's just whatever. I don't give a shit anymore.
I think that mentality makes sense.
Also, when Zoja is lying on the sidewalk and she just looks up at Carol and says, it's okay, Carol, and she's still smiling, bleeding out.
Help is coming.
Starting to feel for Zoja a little bit, you guys.
I know. It's weird. But you can see Carol is too, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And I think Carolina Vidra, I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. Oh, how do you say her name?
Vidra.
I think Carolina Vidra is great.
That's the Polish pronunciation. I don't know. She lived most of her life in the US, so I guess your pronunciation is the correct one.
Well, I don't know. I don't think we pronounce that word, so I'm gonna stick with Polish for now. Anyway, I think she's really good. Okay. Yeah, Carol is very concerned. She's waiting in the empty hospital lobby to hear how Zosha's faring. And a doctor formerly known as a DHL courier comes out to tell Carol the fantastic news that Zosha's concussed, but she's going to be okay. Carol starts testing the courier. So you'd give me another real grenade? What about a bazooka? A nuclear bomb? And yep, he adorably tells her it would be very destructive, but sure, whatever she wants. They would move heaven and earth to make Carol happy.
She's like, would you give it to me though? Like after we go around in circles for a second, and his facial expressions that
he's
actor,
so good.
But he's so good. And he's like, ultimately, yes. Wouldn't necessarily feel good about it.
Everything and the way that he delivered it. He was fantastic.
Do we think that, because he breaks, like his smile drops for a bit.
Yeah, he looks scared a little bit.
Yeah. Do you think that's just them, maybe they're not as happy? And they're just putting out an act?
Yeah.
Or do we think he's just like worried that she may go there? Because what would happen? Like, would she can she destroy the world? Like, and what's going to happen to the virus then?
I think she could.
Right. I think he's probably having a moment of self-preservation versus people-pleasing.
Yeah.
Okay.
On the one hand, he might be considering the consequences if they do give her the nuclear bomb, but also maybe the mask is slipping. They want to offer this front of being kind and giving her everything, but maybe he's holding something back, and he's fighting, saying the right thing, because the truth of all of it is hidden behind the kindness. Maybe. I don't know. I felt something there.
Yeah.
Something sinister.
There's got to be more than them just being,
Well, we don't know the origin of the signal at all. Like, there's a lot of mystery behind that, too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The wow signal.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we didn't talk about that. It is similar to the wow signal.
Yeah, I think the printout of the signal, what they had in the first episode, look almost one-to-one as the wow signal printout. If you Google it.
The sequence?
No, just the printout of the
lines
of the columns of the numbers that the printout had in the 70s. Well, the wow signal was something that a radio observation center called the Big Ear picked up in the 70s. And that was like a 72-second long signal, like a very bright, very intentional looking signal coming from a center of the Milky Way.
Did they ever find out anything else about it?
They found out approximately where it came from. And what they also found out is that it was sent on the same wavelength that the hydrogen has, which the scientists said the hydrogen wavelength is reserved for interstellar communication trying out kind of thing. So that specific kind of wavelength is not being used on Earth.
Wow.
Yeah, so the scientists that discovered it are saying, or were saying in the 70s, that it's indicative of like intelligent civilization sending it, because hydrogen is a marker of life.
Right.
So like the humans decided to use this frequency for communication, so they're assuming that other intelligent civilizations are using the similar wavelength to communicate. Because it makes sense.
Very interesting.
And nothing else ever came similarly since?
No, they did scan the same part of the sky or of the galaxy that it came from, but it was never repeated, so.
That's crazy. I didn't know that, and I love that shit. That's very cool. Thank you for teaching me.
It's really fascinating.
The DHL courier is played by Robert Bailey Jr. He was so good.
Love him.
Yeah, he was very good.
I love at the beginning of his scene, too, where he says, where she's like, you gave me a real grenade? And he said, sorry if we got that wrong, Carol.
Funny how they talk. Very funny.
At the end, too, when he's like offering her coffee and he says, 1 sugar, oat milk, and a pinch of, and then she cuts him off. What's the pinch? What would you put a pinch? Cinnamon? Salt?
Yeah, I have a suggestion that it's cinnamon,
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's vodka.
Pinch of vodka.
Rich coffee.
Carol likes the alcohol, so yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. More plausible.
Yeah, I'm surprised we haven't seen her very drunk since. I mean, I guess that was just the last episode, but
it was like 2 days ago.
Right. And now she's just switched to Xanax.
She's been going through stuff. Then the grenade probably sobered her up a little bit.
Yeah. All right, I think that's a wrap on our discussion of Pluribus, episode 3. Come back next week for our discussion on episode 4. Thanks for listening.
Bye. Bye.